Right, hello. Uh, I'm a bit different today. We're gonna look at the games I played this last year, and I'm gonna put them into. Let me actually show it. And this is the point where I realised that I've not set up the capturing. This window is GIMP. Oh, look at that! I already got it. Okay. Yeah, sure. Right. Let me hide. That works as well. Can I zoom in on that anymore? Yeah, I probably can. If I... This is my scuffed thing that I made very quickly yesterday. Here we go. Right, so yeah, we're going to be going over the games I played this year. I mean, I played quite a fair few. I've only got, like, 3 shown right now, because it's just easier that way. Let me turn the music down a little bit, because it's actually really loud. Yeah, that's the plan, which I think we're very quickly going to work out that there are very few games that I don't like. Like, the majority of things I play I like, probably because I play the same games over and over and over again, but you know what? Oh my god. Sorry. Apparently I can't even speak without almost dying. Yeah, these, like, the good, the bad, and the boring. It's not really the best, like, things. It should really be the games I enjoyed, the games I didn't like, the games that are good but are boring. So that's kind of what this is. So, these are the games that I think are good, even if they're actually terrible games. Like, I'd recommend them. These are the games that I just would never recommend, which there's... I went through and did this yesterday. There's only, like, 2 or 3 in there that I could not recommend. And the boring, again, there's not very many of them. But yeah, anyway, let's get started, because I doubt this would take very long. But yeah, I started the year off with the Souls month. We were going to play Dark Souls 2 for the first time. Dark Souls 3 for the first time. We were going to do a Dark Souls 1 randomizer. We were going to do a Dark Souls 3 randomizer. And we were going to do some other, like, mods in the game that were coming out. But they were already out. And what did we end up playing in that month? We did a Dark Souls 1 randomizer and played Dark Souls 2. So all in all, I'd say that month was a bit of a fail. My PC... My graphics card is not good enough to run Dark Souls 3. But yeah, we started with Dark Souls 2, so I'll start with that one. Personally, Dark Souls 2 is a good game. Right? But oh my god, is it boring. Like, it just, the bosses didn't feel hard. There was no response when I hit things. I was just there, just poking the whole time, and it was easy, and it was dull, and it was boring. But Dark Souls 1, that's a good game. Even the randomizers, which would always just screw me over. It was fun. Like, can't go wrong with Dark Souls 1, right? I think it might be the best Souls game. Well, my favourite Souls game. You know, I played it a couple of times this year. Would play it again. Like, kind of, when I don't know what to do, but need to fill, like, a few streams, a randomizer's good. It's really good. Just to quickly do. And then, I've kind of grouped the Souls games together, because it was, what, February? The Elden Ring came out. Now, not saying Elden Ring's a bad game, but no, Elden Ring is a good game. I want to play Elden Ring again. I want to fight Melania again. The only problem I have with it is that it takes like 70 hours, and I don't want to commit to dumping that much time into a game again. Not yet. Like, love the game. Really good combat. Just one game of the year. But running through fields. Kind of... I don't know. I don't know about that one. Right, but then after that... Well, actually, before Elden Ring, Forbidden West was coming out. So I played through all of Zero Dawn and all of Forbidden West. I'm just going to skip over these. I enjoyed the games. They're not perfect. My experience with Forbidden West was kind of made slightly worse from the fact that my PlayStation just kept turning off. Like, it would just shut down. It would get too hot, and rather than doing what the PlayStation 4 did when it got too hot and tell me, you know, get off now, yeah, it would just turn itself off. But it wouldn't turn itself off properly. I had to pull the power. So that definitely sucked. But, yeah, again, don't really have much to say about that game. Which brings me on to the next one. The Last of Us 2. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I love The Last of Us. This is one of, if not my favourite game of all time. Like, it's so good. I've got, like, probably 300 plus hours in this game now. And it only has a main story. This has got to be my most played single player game that is an open world. That probably goes, like, open world one probably goes to The Witcher 3. But soon will be overtaken by something else, which I'll mention later. Yeah, I don't know. Combat in Last of Us is amazing. People that say it's bad, you have never played a good game then. If you think The Last of Us has bad combat. Story. I like the story personally. I know people don't like it, but you're a goddamn pig. No, you're just wrong. No, I can understand that. But, yeah, again, good game. And this is what I'm on about, that I don't really play that many new games. I played 2 so far this year. And this probably brings us up to about March. Bear in mind, I need to factor about 3 Last of Us playthroughs at this point. But yeah, I mean, I've played like 15 plus times. Not gonna bother worrying about that too long. Bioshock and Bioshock 2. Oh. This is going very quickly. I was expecting this to not take 10 minutes. Just wait till we get to Red Dead 2. I have a lot to say about that game. Which will probably only last like 30 seconds. But, yeah. Bioshock 2. Like, thinking about it, this is what I'm about. Like, I like every game I've played. But Bioshock 2 was really held back by the PC port being terrible. Like, it crashed constantly. And I'd lose progress. And it would just be frustrating and annoying having to do it all again. Like, the game itself was really good. And I can't, like, take away from that because of all the crashing, but the PC port of the remake should have been better. There's not really an excuse for that. Like, it just did not work at times. I remember getting to one bit that I really struggled with, and it just kept crashing at the same point. Finally, on my 3rd time, I remember to save. But yeah, again, that was really good. Bioshock Infinite, I think, is my favourite Bioshock. Didn't play 1 this year. Should have played 1. Yeah, no, I'd recommend both of them, actually. They're just fun games. I think Infinite is better. I think I like the characters more. Although in Bioshock 1 and 2, you don't speak, do you? But Booker does. Booker do it. Didn't like the hard mode. Like the 19 whatever it was mode in Infinite. That wasn't good enough. Right, is that what I have to say about Bioshock? If only I was funny, I could drag this out and just make constant jokes. Even if they were shit. It might be good. Okay, right, next up is Spiderman 2. Not Insomniacs. Of course not Insomniacs, it's not out yet. Spider-Man 2. This game is back from when Treyarch made good games. Before they made Call of Duty. I'm not actually sure on that. This game was amazing. Like, actually, PS2 had some really good games. I'm not No, I'm not sure if what made this game great was the gameplay itself. I could beat a guy up he would then be lying on the floor, and I could continue to beat him up or like web him and throw him around. You just can't do that in games anymore. It's like in Simpsons Hit and Run, where you step out the door and the very first thing that you can do is like attack Marge. Yeah, that does it. That sounds good, right? It's like there was just no like you could just do it. There was nothing stopping you from just beating people up in that game. Which made no sense considering you're Spider-Man, but it was great. And some of the models, their necks just went straight forward and then back, and they was like a trapezium. And then the combat sometimes didn't work. The web swinging was okay. The final boss drove me insane, but the game itself, I had a lot of fun. I think it's a good game. I'm trying to like squish these all together a little bit because there's a lot to go in here. As long as you can still read what it is, it's fine. Okay, what have we got next? Done Bioshock, done Spiderman, Pokemon Platinum. Okay, this is a hard one actually. Because I love Pokemon. I like any Pokemon game. Pokemon itself is just fun. But each time I've played this on stream, Platinum, I don't think I finished it. I always would get bored after like the first stream. Which I guess means I should probably put it in here. But at the same time, I would recommend it to people, and I really like it, so it's gonna go in the good. I can't help it. I'm a sucker for Pokemon. Pokemon, they just make good games. Like, I'm not gonna pretend that they don't. Like, even if it didn't work, they've got the formula down, right? I mean, I think they've been changing it in the recent ones. I've not played those, but like Gen 4, best gen. Yeah, great games. Even like Diamond and Pearl remakes were super good. Big fan of those actually. Although I know, I don't play Pokemon as much as I used to now. I feel like every new Pokemon game that came out, I have like 100 hours in it. I think the last one that I probably put a lot of time into would have been, this is in one file, Ultra Sun and Moon, because that's kind of when I started doing all the EV training, and there were a load of legendaries to catch, and there was the Ultra Beasts, and there was just so much to do that it was kind of like, we don't have that so much anymore in like the Gen 4 remakes, which kind of sucks. Like going in the Ultra Wormholes was, once you caught the legendaries, it was like a guaranteed way to get a set shiny. Which once you had all of them didn't really matter, but it was good. And actually, Pokemon Moon was the first one that I completed the Pokedex on. Never again. I'm not gonna waste time collecting Pokemon. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll shiny hunt. We'll hatch some eggs. I've got a packed in Perfect IV shiny Ditto from Japan. Because I did the Wonder Trade things back then. I also had like a shiny jump bluff called April Fools that I think I got in. Not April. But yeah, it was good. Too much talking about Platinum. Next, Kingdom Hearts, and now I'm like halfway through my list. Kingdom Hearts 1, so. I only played this year to see if I could still beat it at level 1, and if the game was actually good. Yeah, it's a good game. Do I think I'll play Kingdom Hearts ever again? The new ones? No, definitely not. The old ones? Never on-stream, you know. Never even catch me dead playing them. No, I don't think so. Like, the game was good, it's clunky, it's a PS2 game. It works. Some things in the remake definitely should have been changed, like the ability to skip summon animations, or just turn them off. Can still beat it level 1. So there's that. But overall, I think I'm done with Kingdom Hearts. I think it's boring. Good game, but boring to play. Could it be that I played it too much? That also goes to The Last of Us. The last playthrough of The Last of Us 2 I did, I was bored at the end. Because I'd done it so many times. But then again, I've been seeing somebody play through The Last of Us Part 1 recently. Not much, because it hurts to watch. Because I swear this person has never played a single player game in his life. Like, please, shoot them in the leg. Aim. No, not that bad. It's fun. But, yeah, the flashbacks were really starting to get to me. Bad. Like, I just... Oh, that's the worst part about The Last of Us Part 2, is that each playthrough I do... Because at this point I was only really doing permadeath whole game run, and I made it to the Seraphites, the second fight, it's Ellie, and I died. And then and then I had to go back. Which means I've got to sit through Jackson, which is an hour of just riding a horse, doing a very scripted fight that sometimes I mess up. That's thrilling. That's really fun when I mess it up. And I die. Then I get to do it all again, because there's enough until you get to like the shopping shop, the supermarket, that's the word. There's nothing to do. You just walk around Jackson, like sprint past infected or punch them or whatever. It's so dull. Then you get in and you have downtown, which again, there's what, 4 fights in downtown. Look at me, back talking The Last of Us. The bank, that's like a coin flip. I know how to do it, but sometimes I think I'm slightly too slow. Sometimes Ellie just opens a drawer, like ignores the clicker that is sat right in front of her, and opens the drawer, and it ends up killing me. Because you walk through the clicker, and then it slaps you. So that's pain, and then the dome, you just sprint, and the courthouse is really easy to stealth, and everything else is very scripted at that point. Then I take the coin flip of the school, which is great. Love coin flip. Yeah, really fun on there. And then I made a Capitol Hill, which is fine, and then the rest of the day is pretty fine, and then you have the birthday gift, which is boring. Then the beginning of the day at Hillcrest is easy, apart from the one fight at the very beginning that can go very wrong for reasons that I don't understand. Basically what I'm getting at is that I don't know how to do it, and I'm not very good at the game, and watching flashbacks is very boring. Moving on. Oh, this is a good one. This year, I played through every Metal Gear Solid game apart from like the Raiden one, the first time. These games are amazing, apart from Peace Walker. But I don't... Okay, let's get Peace Walker out of the way first. I don't think Peace Walker is a bad game. I think what really ruined Peace Walker for me is that the game is designed to be played on like a bus, right? When you've got like, or on your way to work, when you're like sat on a train, not when you're driving in, that's not. And it just... Playing it sat down on PS3, which I had a load of trouble setting up to work with stream, because you got to use a splitter, because you can't just turn HDCP off. And that could take anywhere from 5 seconds to 40 minutes to start working. Yeah, and then sitting there and playing it for sometimes up to 3 hours was not fun. It became very boring and very, very repetitive. The game's good. Playing it how I played it, wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, that's kind of that one. Metal Gear 1. This game, I've never had such a hard time controlling a character. The controls made little to no sense at the beginning. It got better. Fun story with very accurate biology in it. Which I'm sure they definitely didn't just change later on and decide that something was actually different about it, and that Liquid was in fact not the... I wasn't Liquid evil in that game because he had the recessive genes, so he was not as strong as Snake, but they were clones. They were clones, but somehow being the exact same identical makeup or genetical makeup, whatever, they looked different and had different genes, which, to my understanding of clones, is not how that works. But that's Kojima right there. Kojima science. But yeah, had some of the best bosses though. Like the Psycho Mantis one. I remember getting in and being like, there's no way that this thing input reads. And I had to go and get a second controller to do it. And you just don't get cool things like that anymore. And it's why I kind of hope that if they do remake Metal Gear, they don't remake 1, 2, and 3. I hope they just port them. The one that actually needs a remake is 4. 4 is trapped on a PS3. But yeah, anyway, let's put 1 up there. This one is great. 2, again, a lot of fun bosses. Easy to play. Had a few issues to begin with, but that was not the game's fault. Great game. Better than 1? No. No, I don't. No, definitely not. 3, same thing again. Enjoyed teabagging the boss at the end. She just couldn't handle my immense skill, and that was such a good fight. Again, really good. Metal Gear 4 is the best Metal Gear game, without a doubt. I know it's got the hour-and-a-half cutscene at the end, which is basically a movie, but it really didn't feel that long. But it felt like proper Metal Gear. It was so good. Like the fighting the, what were they called? Like the octopus people, like Sniper, Octopus, Howling, and whatever. Those were all such good fights, and the gameplay finally was really solid. And just, yeah, it was such a good game. And then I played 5, which took me like 70 hours. And again, 5, second best Metal Gear game. Does not top 4. Gameplay still hold up really well today. Best gameplay, maybe. Very good stealth. Like, it's up there with The Last of Us 2 for me, in terms of gameplay. But the story made... yeah. I don't really get what's going on with that. Like, you start off... And okay, so let's go from Ground Zeroes. Ground Zeroes I didn't really enjoy that much, and I was really worried that I wouldn't enjoy the rest of the game. Start off with like the hour thing in the hospital, and it's crazy, and everything's going on, and you're like, oh my god, is that Vulcan. That man looks like the man from 3, but he's on fire. Then you get in, and then it starts talking about Cypher at some point. And then you get late into the game, and they're like, oh, this is... my evil plan is to wipe out... I thought he wanted to wipe out English, because he was butthurt that he had to learn English as a child. I think he wanted to wipe out every language but English. And then you kept getting a pandemic at Mother Base. That section was actually really creepy. That section was scarier than any horror movie and horror game I've played apart from PT. Like, I played Resident Evil 7. It wasn't really that scary, it was just gruesome. But going into Mother Base and having to go along and shoot all the soldiers. First of all, it ruined my no killing playthrough, but so does blowing up a helicopter, but that doesn't count as a kill in the game, because I guess you're not killing the people in it, you're killing the helicopter. The helicopter is not a person. But yeah, no, that was actually really creepy. Like, eerie. It was just a good game, like, all round. So yeah, of course, I'm gonna stick it in good. And the other thing that they fixed from in Peace Walker is the extracting of people. That didn't feel like a bore to do, and it wasn't a hassle because I just kind of naturally do it. And then you'd have all your party members like D-Horse that I could command to take a shit on someone when I wanted. Quiet, she was probably the best one because it's the second that I'd fail, Quiet could just shoot them in the head and trank them out. Like, she was a little bit broken, and D-Dog was decent. D-Walker, I think I used once, crashed into a wall and said never again. Things too hard to control. But yeah, if I had to rank the Metal Gear games, 4, 5, 1, 3, 2, Peace Walker. It's kind of a coin flip between 1 and 5 though. Like, 5 definitely has the better gameplay, but 1 was so much fun. I'm glad that I didn't play it when I first started playing it, and I hated it. But yeah, it was... I don't know what I didn't like about it. It was old. I hate old things. But yeah, that brings me on to the next game, which, playing straight after Metal Gear, was definitely interesting, but it is Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh my god, where do you start with this game? Where do you? So, you know what? I've got an idea. Let me... No, not a new line. No. Oh, this is... No. Control N. Okay, sorry for the flashbang. Not Metal Gear. Red Dead Redemption 2. Let me draw a nice graph. Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh, sorry. There we go. Do it on there. Okay, is that one here now? Okay, so of course, like a standard graph, you got your time, and you got your fun. Ignore that's an N. I'm not very good at writing. Alright, so, Red Dead Redemption 2. The game starts off, and it's pretty fun, right? I'd say it's probably around here, in terms of fun. Let me make this a bit. You know, you're going through the snow, and it's really... graphics are insane, really pretty, a lot of fun. You know, you start off, and it's like, oh, where is everybody? And then you go, and you fight the... I want to call them the O'Driscolls, but I can't remember. And you're working with your gang, and I'm pretty sure at the start of the game, it's kind of made clear that at this point, cowboys are kind of... well, outlaws are kind of not surviving. They're kind of dying out. And I was like, okay, so this is... we're going to be hunted by the law. We're going to be fighting the O'Driscolls. and we're going to be trying to earn a bit of money, rob some people, and escape. And the tutorial's really good, and you get that guy that was an O'Driscoll, you capture him, don't remember his name, I believe, though, it's Kieran. This will be another point that I need to make in a minute. Yeah, and then you get out of the tutorial, and if I'm being honest, at that point, the game kind of went, and I was like, okay, tutorial was super fun, but this is your tutorial. And I guess this here is kind of your chapter 1. Chapter 1. God, I feel sorry for my teachers having to mark anything that I write. That makes it better. Yeah, so I've made it outside of the tutorial, and you have that really boring wagon bit, and I'm now like, what to do? What do we do now? We've got the whole world to go and explore, and the Wild West is this giant, empty field on repeat, over and over and over, and it was dull. And there was nothing to do. So I'm like, okay, I've been to Valentine's, or whatever it was called. I've done my exploring. I found out that there's basically nothing to do in this world at this point. Let's continue on with the story. Wow. What? That was... honestly? It kind of speeds up a bit. Getting worse. I did some story. Didn't really care for any of the characters. Don't remember half of the characters. Kind of went to town, did the bar fight, that was fun. I really don't remember the story. Went fishing, that was boring. So the gameplay, like I said, it starts out pretty fun. But very quickly does it get boring and repetitive. And I think my problem with Red Dead Redemption 2's gameplay is that it is outdated. It's GTA, basically. But with the guns, sometimes you had to hit R2 to reload them again. Sometimes you didn't. It would just shoot. I don't know what was up with that. Sometimes, like, I'd shoot my pistol, I'd hit R2, I'd load the next shot, I'd tap R2, I'd shoot again. Sometimes I hit R2, shoot, hit R2 again, and I'd shoot, and like, but I didn't tap R2. Where was my loading? So that was something I was probably doing wrong. But yeah, and it just kept kind of going and going, and the gameplay loop was... So I'm not a super keen on the idea of going to this location to start a mission. It wouldn't have worked any other way in this game, so it was fine how they did it. But there was no side quests that I really found. Like, there was the bounties. To earn a bit of honest money, which was what this game was now about. It was not about being a cowboy, it was about earning honest money and doing the occasional train. The bounties in this game, you'd think, oh, okay, this could be something that maybe they just randomly generate. Like, there's a list that they just pluck one from, and it's like, okay, new bounty, go and do this. We've got 5 bounties in the entire game. 5. Like, I checked the thingy and it said 5. Maybe more pop up once you've done them, but I'm pretty sure I did all of them, and I didn't get any more bounties. So this game was just lacking side content. There was nothing to do but story. And it was a story that did not interest me. But then I stumbled across the possible best thing I could have stumbled across, and my enjoyment went straight up. What could possibly cause this? Poker. I earned so much money, and I lost even more. And it was just a lot of fun, right? Going in, gambling, losing, and then maybe or maybe not shooting the people, depends on how I was feeling that day. And it's why all of my savings are now gone. Yeah, it's a rough one. But no, like, it was fun. And then I'd leave the poker table. Then it would go straight back down. And then I go back. I mean, this is not even steep enough. Like, realistically, it should be more like goes back to poker, leaves poker, goes back to poker, leaves poker, spends time thinking about poker, goes back, leaves. That's kind of what the graph should look like. And around here, we're starting chapter 2. About here. And at this point, this is what, 30 missions in? I'm like, okay, honestly, I've been playing this game for a little while now. I don't see there being very much left. I'm gonna finish it. I'm not really enjoying it. Interested to see how this ends. You know, maybe we're finally gonna start fighting the O'Driscolls. No, we kind of continue to do some more honest work, and then some other stuff that was super dull. In fact, this is the chapter that had the mission that really proved that Rockstar mission design is bad. Well, not bad, is very one note. And that I don't think there was a single mission in this game, apart from the fishing one, which I think this only happened because there was a child there, that there was not a shootout. I went to get some post, and it turned into a shootout. How? How did that happen? I know that it's like, just let us return to camp. Just have that be a boring mission that shouldn't have been in the game in the first place. It was just there to try and, like, build a bit of like atmosphere around the camp with these people that I have absolutely zero idea who they are. I don't know any of these people. I know Dutch. I know Micah, but not at this point in the game. I know Micah because of later in the game. And it was just boring. It was the same thing. Mission design in that game was go somewhere, do something, mess up, shoot. Or go somewhere, shoot, go back to base. It was very similar. There were very few missions that wasn't it. And I also think it's around this point that Dutch starts his "just one more train, Arthur. We just gotta get one more train," in my dodgy Western accent. And one more train, one more job, felt like it turned into about 1,000. And the game slowly moved on, and it slowly moved on, and it slowly moved on. So let me do that. And then about this point, I don't even remember if this is correct now in the story order. Arthur gets captured. Interest goes up. This could be interesting, you know? I've been captured by the O'Driscolls. We got set up, they wanted to make a deal. This is good. Finally, we're going to get to fight the O'Driscolls. No, it was about the next mission that Arthur escaped. In fact, I think it was the same mission. Arthur escaped. They were like, "You want to go fuck up the O'Driscolls?" Nah. Why would we do that? That's dumb. You know, these incompetent people that let one prisoner escape. Our rival gang. Should we go take them out? No. Why would we do that? That's dumb. That's very dumb. Instead, let's move house to a swamp. And we go to the city, and we continue our same gameplay loop. Over and over again. Go somewhere, do something, shoot some people, return back to base. Now, this would have been fine, this gameplay loop, if the gameplay was fun, but the gameplay was L2, R2, L2, R2, L2, R2. I had no need to buy better guns, because the aim assist was so strong that it would instantly lock onto the head and one-shot. There was no need. Like, there was no point in me earning money in this game, because my base weapon was good enough. And it was about this point that I discovered blackjack. No, that was earlier. But, yeah. Blackjack was alright, wasn't as good as poker. But yeah, these spikes should pop up more often, like that, because I did keep going back. It would be like each stream I'd probably spend like half an hour there. It wasn't an addiction. I could stop. I did stop whenever I wanted, just after a few more extra things. And then what happened? What happens next in the story? This is just going to turn into a Red Dead Redemption 2 run. What happened next? Oh, that was it. So, like I said earlier on, I'm pretty sure it was quite established that cowboys, outlaws, going out of fashion, being tracked down. And the person that we rescued earlier in the snow, like I said, I believe it's Kieran, gets sent into our house, into our new base. So the Adjusters know where we are. Headless. No head. Had his head chopped off. Killed for betraying them. Pretty savage for them to do. So I'm here, like, okay. This is interesting. We just got attacked by them. We just wiped out a load of these people, like probably 20, 30 plus of these people that are part of a thing that is dying out. There can't be that many left. They are our rival gang. Let's just go wipe them out. And we chose to leave. Why? Why did we leave them? Then the story keeps going on. Keep going on. Keep going. Gets a bit lower. And we get up to the bank job. I'm like, okay, this is probably the end of the game. We do this. We get our money from that other place. We leave. Oh, I forgot to mention that we've already had the massacre of that town that it didn't matter if we went back to. Like, I think there was a bit that it was like, oh, don't go back there, don't go back there. But then later on it was like, crimes are forgiven. You only massacred an entire town. It's fine. You broke the guy out of jail and you killed everyone. It's fine. Like, what? Hello? That makes no sense. Bank job. Everybody dies. You're meant to be like, oh, that's very sad. I remember that person. He did what exactly? Again? Huh. No clue. I don't remember that man. When did he join us? And you go to the island, and honestly, the island, very pretty, very boring. Get off the island very fast, and you go back, and it's about this time that Arthur starts getting sick. Now, during chapter 2, I had somebody come in and spoil the game for me, telling me, "Oi, Arthur's gonna die." Bit of a knobhead move, but what can you do? Only, like, spoiler I've had while streaming a game. And oh yeah, let's put, like, here. I can't remember where chapter 3 start was. It's somewhere around here. Yeah, let's say this is chapter 4. That's the island. We get back, Arthur gets TB, it's like, there is a traitor among us. Find them. And this is the point that you start helping Eagle, Flies, and Rainfall, I believe. And I'm like, okay, this is an interesting bit of the story. What's interesting about this is that Arthur at this point is kind of like, I don't agree with you, Dutch. You're being misled, and it's by Micah. And you're only listening to him rather than your most trusted number one, most illegible friend. Why are you doing this all of a sudden? Like, you're clearly going mental and you are not fit for this job anymore, and you're just listening to somebody else. So, Dutch is still spewing his just one more train. That almost turned more Italian. It's a very dodgy Italian, but kind of. It's one more train, one more job, one more this, one more that. It's like, oh my god, you've been saying one more since mission 30. We are now on mission 80. Just let it end. You have dragged this story on long enough. Let it end. Please, just let the game end. And it didn't. And it kept going. But like I said, this bit here, where Arthur's kind of breaking off, you're helping Eagle Flies on his... Oh, I can't remember. One of them wanted a path of peace, because that's, like, their whole thing. And his son wanted to shit everything up. And like I said, Arthur's breaking off at this point. So I think this is a point of the story where it can go one of two ways. You can either help the person on his path for peace, or you can help the person shit everything up. And Rockstar, with their great brilliance, goes, no, you will do both. And it's like, why? You've made it that Arthur is finally thinking for himself, not just doing what he's told, not just doing what the gang wants. And yet you're still forcing me to do both of these things. One that is completely against the other. Why? Why is that a thing? Like, if... It should have been I help him down his path of peace. And maybe they get wiped out, or whatever. Or I help them down the path of the thing, and they survive for longer. They go on. New leader. But that wasn't the case. They made you do both, which instantly kind of killed off even more of my enjoyment for the game. I believe this is kind of getting towards the end of the game now. Because at this point you're even telling, is his name John? Like, look out for your family. Forget the gang. All game we've been saying, gang is important, gang is number one. Arthur's finally realised something's up. I'm getting accused of being a little traitor. And all of that. So, yeah, look out for yourself. And then we go back to the cave that we live in at this point with John. Some more of the characters have died. Like, I think somebody got drunk and then she got shot by someone. And it's like, Micah, you goddamn rat. I was like, oh, okay. You know, let's have this fight against me, who is currently dying from TB. This went on for a while, this fight. But that's fine, I'm not really against that. You get the option to maybe go back for the money, but it's like, no, John, just run. Escape. Get out of here. Go back for it some other time. I have to go in Sean. And they decide, and then, end of Red Dead Redemption 2, you're up on that hill. Sean, by the way, I'm going to spoil the game. If you haven't played it, never want to play it. And Arthur's lying there after the fight, and John and Micah, no, not John, yeah, John escapes, Micah, I think, escapes, Dutch escapes, and Arthur lies down, and finally, this great hero succumbs to TB. I'd have honestly rather him just, Micah just pops up and goes BAM! And just dead. You know, it was a good moment though. Like, that moment was done well. And finally, at this point, the epilogue starts. It goes off the chart. I quit. I'm not playing this game anymore. It was dull. I didn't enjoy the gameplay. Repetitive gameplay loop. Didn't like the mission design. Shouldn't have always ended in a gunfight. Didn't enjoy the story. Didn't know any of the people in my gang. Like, Cowboy's going out of fashion, but the O'Driscoll still has armies of thousands of them, and they keep sending them. And I wiped 30 of them out, and we never go and finish them off. I thought that we were going to fight the O'Driscolls in this story, and we never did. Like, we never finished them off, and there were so many things that I just felt were stupid, and the game should not have been 100+ missions. 50 would have been fine. Condense your story down. You dragged it out. It was too long. And that is why Red Dead Redemption 2... Whoops. Bad. It was bad. Wouldn't recommend it. Think it's dumb. Boring gameplay. Outdated. Do better, Rockstar. Anyway, I will be right back because my throat kind of hurts because I've not got a drink. I've been talking for like 50 minutes straight, so I will be right back. How's it going, Cursed? Kingdom Hearts 2 boring as hell. Kingdom Hearts boring as hell? Yeah, very boring. Just like Peace Walker and Dark Souls 2. Which actually, Red Dead Redemption 2 shouldn't just be sat in the bad. It should be sat in like the bad and boring. So let's put it there. That makes much more sense. What's next? We're basically getting towards the end now, I think. God of War. Oh god. I never want to play God of War on hard mode again. But basically, yeah, I mean, 1, 2, they're all really good. I'll give them that. But one felt dated. Very dated. And it was a good game, but some things in it was just incredibly stupid. It was good. It was kind of the worst of the lot. Then it went 2. 3 was good. 2018 has always been good. I didn't like 2018 when I first played it. But it was good. So yeah, these ones. 1, very good game. Bit repetitive. Some bits are a bit dumb. 2, fixed on the problems that 1 had. Good game, made better. Still had some really dumb bits. And 3 was really good. Although I feel like at the time, I had a miserable time playing them because they were too hard. I wasn't good enough. Yeah, here you go. Here's the Red Dead Redemption 2 graph. These spikes are gambling. Gambling. Everything else. Yeah, I'm not going about Red Dead Redemption 2. It must have been like 20 minutes that I ranted about that game. 2018, God of War. Very good. I'm kind of on the side that 2018 is better than Ragnarok. I miss fist combat. I know we got the new cool weapon, but I think that 2018 was just... It was more focused, and some of the bits of the combat that they changed in Ragnarok were not to my liking. Some bits they added were. The more enemy variation in Ragnarok was good, but kind of overall, main story was good, post-game stuff was a little bit meh. There were a lot of the same fights for the secret bosses. Got a little bit repetitive. Didn't like the scaling on Give Me God of War as much. Everything kind of two-hit me. It's a pain. But yeah, exactly. Ragnarok is kind of more of the same. It's not as good as the first time around. Like, it's still a very good game. But, like, the Game Awards was 2 days ago. Elden Ring definitely deserved Game of the Year over Ragnarok. 100%. Like, everything that, like... some bits of most of Ragnarok improved, some bits definitely went backwards. Still very, very good though. I don't really have much else to say, but I think that means we're almost onto my... Yeah, we're kind of getting close to the end. Batman! I'm kind of upset, honestly, because at the Game Awards, it seems like they've kind of changed the ending of Night. I think Night had a perfect ending. The world found out who Batman was. He walks into his mansion and it blows up. Him and Alfred dead. That's it. That's the end of Batman. Even if Bruce Wayne doesn't die, and he just leaves, he moves, and he lives somewhere else, that's it. Batman is dead from that point onwards. He's no longer Batman. But now in Suicide Squad, they've kind of seemed to have gone back on that decision, and maybe he is Joker after all. And that the cure or whatever he got, I can't really remember it, didn't work, and Joker did take over because he's killing people now. Or it's not that Batman, it's an imposter Batman. But yeah, I didn't finish Arkham Knight this time around. Like, I really like the game. It's a really good game, but honestly, I found it a bit boring when I played it this year. Like, growing up, it's definitely my favourite series, but I don't know, it was really good. Like, I definitely recommend the game, but this year I found it slightly boring. Yeah. Best Batman game, though, that's out there. I'm not gonna let, like, the Suicide Squad change my thoughts on it. Like, I've not played the game, so I don't know. I can't really have a trailer change it. But now we get on to the greatest game ever. Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. I could do a similar thing for this that I did for Red Dead. I could make a graph, apart from there wouldn't be much point, because it just goes up. Like, it never drops off. The game is just, it's just perfect. Spirit Tracks is a perfect game. And I will not have anybody tell me otherwise. I loved blowing into the S mic. I'd play this every year. Every single year. I'd play it again, and I only played it in October. This game is amazing. I love trains. I love Zelda. Best Zelda game out there. This game is good. That's not the right thing. This is good game. Very good. And I'm not even joking, is the thing. Like, I actually think that this is a near perfect game. I can't believe you'd say it's boring. That is just wrong. Like, I want to play Phantom Hourglass, but you got to blow on some candles, and it doesn't mean. British, so you're gonna let it slide. Maybe it's you that you just don't appreciate good games. Life is hard enough. Yeah, I know. I live in Bloodborne. Every day I go outside and it's just away. Fucking constantly. Although that's more me. I'm more that guy that shouts away. I don't want to see anybody. That's probably really loud. Alright, next game. The Elder Scrolls 2. This game is shit. This game is actually awful. But it's so good at the same time. You know, like, I'd give it that. It's a good game. It doesn't work. It crashes and says that it might corrupt what's currently in my memory. So the thrill of playing it and knowing that I could potentially corrupt Windows is something that really gets my heart racing. Doing the same quests over and over and over again because I've got no clue what I'm meant to do for the story, because the queen or whatever it was is like, oh, I'm in the inn in this town for 3 days. And it's like, I can't fast travel to this town because I've just contracted the plague, and each time I try to fast travel there, I die. So, yeah, let's leave that one out. Yeah, it was a good game. Thumbs up. Not actually good, but I enjoyed it. Minecraft, boring. Used to love Minecraft. Minecraft is fun with friends. By yourself, bashing my head against a wall would have been better. It's kind of how I feel about it. But, yeah. I also can't build good houses in it. Like, I feel like the whole point, half of Minecraft is building cool looking things, and I have zero design ability. So, yeah. I'm used to getting boring. What's next on the list? Final Fantasy VII Remake. I just played this. It's great. I can't wait for the next part. Great combat. I'm not going over these ones quickly because I don't really have much to say on them. I mean, I'm basically at the end. This is basically all the games I played this year. Yeah, no, it's good. I want to play it through with Thingy again. Just like I want to play Last of Us Part 1 into Part 2. I think that's going to be amazing. Yeah. Final Fantasy VII is so good. Right. What was next? Okay, I actually played these at the beginning of the year. But the Witcher trilogy. Played them off stream. I'm going to start playing Witcher 1 on Wednesday now. I can't wait for. The Witcher 1 is... like, I don't want to say it's a bad game. But it's very dated. Which one is the kind of game you appreciate playing but would never touch again? The Witcher 1 is a game that I cannot wait to play again. I don't know why. Like, I think back at it, and it's like, it starts out and you're in Kaer Morhen, and it's like, we're gonna throw you in, but we're not gonna teach you how to play the game. And I didn't know you had to click, wait, click. And I think it must have been the third fight that my tutorial finally popped up. And I kept dying, and hard mode was not it. And there was like certain fights that I'd walk too close to a firewall, and the game would proceed to stun lock me and I'd die to the Hellhounds. Or I'd go into, like, was it Vivaldi's bank? And I'd go down the stairs, and before the game had even exited the black screen, I was stun locked in a corner and I died. Or getting, like, that criminal. You walk into his house, and you're like, I'm here to fuck you up. And he proceeds to turn into, like, 20 people in a tiny little room that trap you in a corner. That you just die. Yeah, that's the other bit. There were so many enemies, like, you just walking around, like, constant enemies. And the plant ones, I love swamps. And so does CD Projekt Red back in those days. It was like the original Dark Souls. There was just a swamp. It was just constant swamps. It's like I was playing in Blighttown only. It wasn't really fun. But yeah, like, a plant would pop out the ground, hit me once, there goes half my HP, stun lock me, and then I die to a different plant. I'm like, yes. Or trying to get all of the little gems, or the rings that you needed to get into the Alchemist Tower. You had to kill a golem that you were meant to do with lightning, but sometimes, even if the golem was inside of, like, the lightning thing, I'd still get hit by the lightning. It would still hit me. But I think the only reason I actually managed to beat that game is because I got a random chance of incineration on one of the final bosses, and he just died. I don't know if it was a glitch, but he just died to one Igni. But yeah, overall, I think that game's pretty good. Witcher 2, I feel like I didn't. I only played for like a day, and I kept turning the difficulty down because I kept dying too much. In fact, I don't really remember The Witcher 2 all that much. I remember. What do I remember? I remember fighting the Kraken. And I remember there being I remember the dragon fight being really terrible. And I remember you fight Vess in that game, don't you? The homophobia? Yeah, I don't remember that. Wait. Nice. Oh, maybe I didn't speak to the person, or maybe it was at the point that I just wanted to play The Witcher 3 so much that I wasn't really paying attention. That's great. I thought it was just that they hated sorceresses and wizards. Not that. Yeah, okay, nice. That's great. I wonder if they change any of that if they ever remake it then. Probably, I'd imagine so. Although, maybe not, because it's kind of like part of the world. And you suddenly throw in that the... When was that thrown in? Oh my god. What? I didn't even know Siri was mentioned in the second one. I definitely don't remember calling anybody a nonce. I thought Witcher 2 was about finding Yen. That's awful. Oh, how did I not notice that? Well, still, that doesn't change my thoughts on the game. I had fun playing it. Wait, this song isn't from Spyro as well? Is it from Pokemon? When you defeat him? I don't remember fighting any evil wizards. I remember fighting the evil Witcher at the end. Wizard? It's just... You know, his plans being foiled? I thought that the evil wizard was like... I wanted to call her... What's she called? The sorceress that helps you early on. Oh, I can't remember. I mean, I'll be playing it soon enough. You just gotta beat the Witcher 1 first. Yeah, I just don't remember it. I'll hope. Well, hopefully I'll see it next time. I'm sure I'll probably notice it next time. Witcher 3. Great game. I wanted to really rush into Witcher 3, and I was like, oh yeah, I got the DLCs now. I think Blood and Wine might have been better than main story. Honestly, like. It was so good, like the vampires and all of that. It took me a while to register it as vampires. But yeah, really sucked about the ending though, because no matter how many times I reloaded, I never managed to save the duchy. I don't know, I just felt like I'd failed. But I enjoyed taking pictures of peacocks and having my picture painted, exploring Toussaint. That was pretty good. The main story is really good. I think main story is probably better than Heart of Stone. Heart of Stone was good, But the Mirror Man here, oh, he pissed me off. Like, when you're running around in that mirror world, it's like his stupid riddle or whatever. What a prat. Like, actually, just, why are you like this? But again, Witcher 3, good game. Play it again. I would probably play it each year. Not quite done with CDPR games yet, though. I've only got 3 games left. Next, another game I played this year, Cyberpunk. It was kind of after playing The Witcher that I was like, oh, I don't see that CDPR probably made a bad game. It probably just a bit of a buggy mess, and it shouldn't have come out when it did. And thankfully, there was like that 5-hour free PlayStation trial that finally I was like, yeah, I'll play that. I'll play Cyberpunk. It was a lot of fun. I didn't experience any bugs. The only problem is I didn't think my PC would run it, and it didn't really. Like, 20-something FPS is what it probably ran at the whole time. But it was good. I love using, like, the mono wire and just kind of going in and whipping everybody to bits. No, I had the next-gen Cyberpunk experience. Oh, yeah, I guess I had the PS4 Cyberpunk experience, but on PC, so it wasn't really that buggy. I think I had 2 bugs. Before I installed mods. Mods has really kind of ruined the game. Like, I installed some additional hairstyles, and now every single time that I go into the character creator, and I click OK, it doesn't exit. It crashes, and I have to task manager shut it down. But yeah, I'm not that fussed about, like, FPS, really. Like, I'd rather just enjoy the game even if it is not running consistently at 30. Story is really good. Johnny annoyed me to begin with. I liked all the kind of the additional quests, like with River and Judy and Kerry and Pam. They were all good. But yeah, no, the game's really good. I actually can't wait for Phantom Liberty. I think at that point it has potential to be a CDPR game, in my opinion. Like, the guns are really good. The driving is jank. Story's good. Keanu Reeves, who I still am yet to decide if his acting in that game is good or not. I'm kind of on the side now of leaning to, yeah, it was decent. He played a good Johnny. And that storming the Arasaka Tower as Johnny Silverhand, that is such a good bit of the game. I know it's like so early on, it's like just after you get out and you get the chip in your head. That bit's so fun. Just going in and shooting everybody, and then you can get Johnny's pistol later on. I don't know. I still really want to play it, but I'm probably going to have to, like, shelve it, because I'm starting The Witchers. I don't want to have 2 RPGs going at the same time. Adverts. Where's the next? Does that mean I've been doing this for an hour? Yeah, anyway. Bam. Great game.
This Christmas, let's talk more.
I'll continue once we're past the YouTube adverts. But we've only got 2 more games to do, and then maybe I'll order these very quickly. Probably not. But yeah, the last 2 games that I played off stream, and a little bit on stream this year, both multiplayer games. I don't think I like multiplayer games anymore. Like, I'm interested to try out The Last of Us multiplayer. Peace Walker. Peace Walker is a boring Metal Gear game. It's good. Like, this category doesn't really work. If it's in bad and boring, it's a bad game that is boring, but if it's just in boring, it is a good game that is boring. Although, that kind of like that then. I think it's more to do with how I played Peace Walker that made it dull. In that I shouldn't have played it in 3-hour bits. I should have played it in like 15 minutes things off stream whilst I did 4. Kind of how it's designed to be played. But I think the game's good, just not to play in giant chunks of time. But yeah, Valorant I think is kind of bad. I only really played the deathmatch because I don't really want to go and sit in a 40-minute game locked in with some potential knobhead yelling at me for being shit. Overwatch, again, bad and a bit boring. I enjoyed Overwatch until I played it on stream. Now, never playing that game again. I think it's dumb that heroes are not unlocked by an in-game currency like in Siege, which is easy to earn. Because if they release a potentially broken hero that never really gets nerfed to the ground, and people miss out, people are just at a giant disadvantage at that point. I don't think that's really good. Like, characters should be inside a season pass, kind of. I'm not gonna tell them how to make money though, because I honestly don't know. But yeah, multiplayer games. I think I'm done with them for now. Maybe if I had friends, they'd be alright, but yeah, they're just kind of boring. Not willing to put time in to get even half decent at them, so that they maybe are fine for myself. Because I'd rather just play a single player game, because they're infinitely better. Because it's like multiplayer games, you've got to cater to everybody. So you can't make it like impossibly hard. Like you couldn't put it to like being like grounded levels of Last of Us difficult. Like the only reason they can do that is because there's difficulty options for other people, so they can make the hardest as hard as they want. As long as it's still fun, then it's fine. So yeah. Kind of my thing on multiplayer games these days. After putting like 1,000 hours into Siege and a lot of time into Fortnite, because I too was once 14, for multiple years. Yeah, I think I'm done with them. I'll only play them if it's to play with like, one of my friends. Apart from that, I'll just play a single player game and actually have a fun time. Yeah, that's it though. That's all the games I played this year. Which does mean that it's time to hand out the most important thing. What is this year's game of the year out of these ones? Play Among Us together? I played it on the phone and I've never hated it more. Among Us was terrible. It's like Murder in the Dark, but shit. Like, Murder in the Dark is a fun game. Because it's dark, and you never know when you're going to get stabbed in the back. Like, playing that as kids was great. Even if there was only 4 of us. Like, it was so much fun. But it also ruined it that one of the people I played with kind of took the dark bit out of Murder in the Dark, because he always had a flashlight. So, if ever he was walking up to kill you, you'd kind of know, because you'd just have a light shine on you. Which is interesting. I don't know, Among Us. I think, like, maybe I feel like it could be fun if there was, like, a group to play with. But it's online multiplayer, right? So I feel like it's probably also infested with children. And you've got to talk to them. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would have thought. But yeah, anyway, what has been the best game I've played this year? Elden Ring was pretty good. There's that. There's that. So these. So God of War. Honestly, I was gonna kind of be a little bit, you know, kind of thingy and say that the best game I played this year was in fact Spider-Man 2. But I couldn't lie. I couldn't lie and say it was Spider-Man 2 when Spirit Tracks is right here. And that's why the best game of this year was The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. That is it. Best game is Spirit Tracks. This game is 5 stars. The best. Ever. And you'll never take it away from this. Put it on the Switch. Put it on every console imaginable. And you will make so much money, Nintendo. You have to trust me on that one. Like, even release it. Like, who doesn't love blowing into a mic? It's so much fun. Like, it is incredible how good Spirit Tracks is. You telling me to shut down my channel? You never know. He might agree with me. He's a man of great taste, I believe. Like myself. But you can't tell me that it's just not. It's the best game out there of all time. Just listen to the music. But yeah, anyway, short stream today because this is all I wanted to do. Tomorrow, I'm thinking of trying out the Forspoken demo. Because that got released the other day, right? That got released like at the Game Awards. So that will probably be another short stream. Depends on if I really hate it. But yeah, no, like I said, there's not very many games that I dislike. It's kind of just those ones down at the bottom this year. Oh, I also forgot to put Dragon's Dogma in here. But now... What? Don't merge? Oh. This is Dragon's Dogma. It was boring. It was good, but it was boring and very repetitive. Yeah, so tomorrow we'll do the Forsaken, or Forspoken, or whatever the hell the game is called demo. No stream Monday, no stream Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm going to play The Witcher 1. We're going to start the Witcher trilogy. And I'm going to have a great time getting trapped by the lasers in that game. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm going to stream there. Bit of a short stream today. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.